in spanning. Elk jaar worden tijdens de Holland Series ook de nodige awards uitgereikt. En vandaag zullen er 3 individuele awards worden uitgereikt. Namelijk de beste slagman van de competitie 2022, de beste werper van de competitie 2022 en de award voor de meest gestolen honken. Awards zullen worden uitgereikt door Job van Beekhoven. En die is binnen de KNVSB verantwoordelijk voor de sectie nationale teams en talentontwikkeling honkbal. Ik weet niet of die al bij het veld is aangekomen. En anders dan verzoeken wij hem om deze kant op te komen. De spelers van beide teams uit de starting line-up maken straks een line-up. En dan zal ik u ook eventjes de opstellingen geven. Ik begin gewoon met het noemen van de line-up en dan komen de spelers vanzelf de dugout uit. Voor Curaçao Neptunus onze gasten vanmiddag is de eerste slagman, derde opman Stijn van der Meer. De tweede slagman is linksvelder Jan-Nico Tromp. De derde slagman ik ga wat te snel, dat wordt niet vaak tegen mij gezegd, maar dat is zo. Daar is Stijn van der Meer. Linksvelder Jan-Nico Tromp. Korte stop John Polonius. Midvelder Roger Bernardina. Aangewezen slagman Junior Martina. Tweede opman Dwayne Kemp. Catcher Dashenko Ricardo. Rechtsvelder Christian Diaz. En eerste opman Shedian Yamanika. En dan rest ons de starting pitcher en dat is Kai Timmermans. De line-up van HCAW. Tweede opman Bradley Martina. Rechtsvelder Victor Draaier. Midvelder Jan-Nico Tromp. Aangewezen slagman Kevin Dirksen. En terug ertussen is linksvelder Fildering Llewellyn. Eerste opman Quentin de Cuba. Derde opman Max Draaier. Korte stop Bob van der Meer. En catcher Julian Coins. En de startende werper voor HCW is straks Dennis Burgerdijk. Ik ga ervan uit dat Job van Beekhoven ook bij het veld staat. De eerste prijs die zal worden uitgereikt is de award voor de beste slagman van de honkbal hoofdklasse 2022. seizoen rekening gehouden met een minimaal aantal slagbeurten. En de slagman met het hoogste slaggemiddelde die wint. Die prijs gaat dit jaar naar een speler van DSS Inheim uit Haarlem. Met 47 honkslagen in 124 slagbeurten en een indrukwekkend slaggemiddelde van 379 is de beste slagman Koen Haldeman. En na de fotomomentjes gaan we naar de overige twee prijzen. Daar hoeven we niet voor ver te zoeken, want die komen allebei in de handen van spelers van HCAW. Om te beginnen voor de meeste gestolen honken. We weten inmiddels allemaal hoe snel hij is, maar honken stelen vergt ook inzicht, reactievermogen en een hoop mind games. Het is een specialiteit die hij als geen ander bezit. Hij steekt er dan ook dit seizoen met kop en schouders bovenuit. Met maar liefst 27 gestolen honken. De award voor de meeste gestolen honken in de honkbal hoofdklasse 2022 gaat naar Bradley Martina. En dan de award voor de beste werper van het seizoen. Ook daarvoor geldt dat er een minimaal aantal gegooide innings moet zijn, maar daar komt hij met gemak aan. Hij heeft een win-loss record van 7 gewonnen wedstrijden tegenover slechts 1 verliespot. Hij gooide in totaal 94 innings. Daarin gooide hij maar liefst 99 keer 3 slag. Heeft een geweldige era verdiend puntengemiddelde tegen van 0,86 en dat is heel laag. En daarmee is hij met recht de beste werper van de honkbal hoofdklasse 2022. Die prijs kan alleen maar gaan naar Lars Huijen. Heren alle drie, van harte gefeliciteerd met de awards. Het was een genot om jullie bezig te zien op onze Nederlandse velden en we hopen dat we nog lang van jullie mogen genieten. Geef ze nog een applaus. Beste slagman Koen Haldeman, de meeste gestolen honken Bradley Martina en de beste werper Lars Huijen. Dank aan Job van Beekhoven en wij wensen u heel veel plezier bij wedstrijd 2 van de Holland Series.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Game 2 of the Holland Series 2022 between Curaçao, Neptunus from Rotterdam and HCAW from Bussum. The home team today is HCAW from Bussum. We are in Bussum, we're in the Rob Hoffman Valley, named after the famous pitcher from the 60s here in Bussum. And we will be joined shortly by my co-announcer in the booth, Jason Houtkamp. My name is Jasper Roos. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed watching our stream on Thursday for Game 1, which was a surprising upset in Rotterdam. The away team, HCAW, pulled out a victory, beating Curaçao Neptunus 5-4 in a fantastic ball game on Thursday night. And we are now ready to get game 2 underway. You see the HCAW home team take the field, and Curaçao Neptunus batters are lining up over to my left to get this game underway. We have lineups for you. The batting order for Curaçao Neptunus. Leading off, playing third base, is Stijn van der Meer. Oh, we have the, actually, we'll do that first. We'll go with the HCAW defensive alignment first. You see from left to right in the outfield, Fildrik Llewellyn, Jandro Tromp and Victor Dreyer make up the outfield for HCAW. Then at short we have Bob van der Meer, second base Brandley Martina, and on the corners third base Max Dreyer, and first base Quinten de Cuba. The DH today will be Kevin Dirksen, and behind the plate Julian Goins. And you see the batting order on the right side of your screen. As always, Brandley Martina at first. And if we can then move to the batting order and lineup for Curaçao Neptunus. There we are. This will be the batting order on the right side for Curaçao Neptunus. Stijn van der Meer leading off, playing third base. Jandro Tromp batting second in left field. John Polonius at shortstop, batting third. Batting cleanup, the veteran Roger Bernardina, playing center field today. Junior Martina back at DH as he was on Thursday, batting fifth. Dwayne Kemp, second baseman, as always in the heart of the lineup for Curaçao Neptunus. Dashenko Ricardo, the catcher, doing the catching from the 7th position, the batting from the 7th position. Christian Diaz in right field today. He was very busy in center field on Thursday. And at first base and batting ninth, Shadian Yamanika. Starting pitcher for Curaçao Neptunus. You see him in the center of your screen. For Neptunus will be Kai Timmermans. You see in the center of your screen starting pitcher for the home team, which is Dennis Burgersdijk, the veteran. Had a great season this season for HCAW. And he gets us underway with a strike called. Stijn van der Meer with the characteristic left-handed stance. Easily identifiable. As pitch number 2 by Burgersdijk is popped up into center field, and it is reeled in. Jandro Tromp with the catch in center field. One away here in the first inning. Game 2 of the Holland Series in the Netherlands, with HCAW currently holding a 1-0 lead in the series. It's a best of 7 series. As we are redecorating our commentary booth here momentarily. There we are. As Burgersdijk fires and delivers a strike on the outside. Tromp with a little bit of redecorating in the box. As Burgersdijk fires and delivers a breaking ball that is grounded to third base, handled cleanly. And out number 2 is Jandro Tromp. Nice play by Max Dreyer over at third. Not feeling rushed, make the play. For those of you who don't know, this is an artificial turf infield here in Bussum. We have real dirt over at the home plate area and the batter's boxes, but everything else is artificial turf. So it's a little speedy. Grounders can pick up some speed here quickly. So the infield has to be on their toes at all times. As John Polonius is digging in now for Curaçao Neptunus, and Burgersdijk fires and delivers a strike. These two players know each other well. Polonius and Burgersdijk, they face off quite a bit during the season, and also both part of Team Kingdom of the Netherlands. Burgersdijk making his national team debut during the Honkbal Week a couple of weeks ago as Polonius chops one to second base, handled by Brentley Martina with the underhand flip to first baseman Quinton de Cuba. And a very easy 1-2-3 inning for Dennis Burgersdijk. We are underway here in Bussum for Game 2 of the Holland Series 2022. HCAW, the home team. Curaçao Neptunus taking the field. We're heading to the bottom of the first. And here we have the defensive alignment for you once more for Curaçao and Neptunus. Ian Dino Tromp in left field, Roger Bernardina in center, Christian Diaz in right. They swapped positions compared to Thursday. Up the middle in the infield, John Polonius at short, Dwayne Kemp at second base. On the corner, Shady and Yamanika manning first base, Stijn van der Meer at third. Behind the plate, Dashenko Ricardo, and the DH is Junior Martina. Starting pitcher for Curaçao Neptunus today, Kai Timmermans. And he'll be looking to keep this difficult offense, because HCAW has a very good, very well-rounded offense. There's speed, there's power, there's contact ability. They take their walks. And if Thursday night's game was in any way, shape, or form a prediction of what we're going to see today, Timmermans has got his work cut out for him. As I have Jason putting his headset on.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Very warm afternoon here from Bussum.
Surprisingly warm. It was supposed to rain.
Absolutely, yeah. It's beautiful, beautiful weather. It's nice and sunny, and it was not expected at all. Especially until this morning, weather forecast was pretty terrible. So we're all happy that we can just have this game going on. Well, we see Kai Timmermans warming up on the pitcher's mound.
In case you're watching on YouTube, you can join us in the chat and send us your questions, give us your geographical location. Where are you watching from? Because we had a bunch of people from all over the world watching the stream on Thursday. Curious to see where you're all from. As we're trying to figure out if you can hear Jason, because I can hear him, but our producer is telling me he can't hear Jason. So
no, I was able to hear myself as well. I'm not sure if I'm now. Yeah, well, I have a nice, beautiful, old-fashioned hand mic going on right now.
Then I'm actually going to turn your headset microphone off so that we don't interfere.
Excuses for that, ladies and gentlemen.
Honestly, I thought it worked, but okay. Oh, okay. Yep.
Opa. All right. Now
we're back. Set. We're in business. Perfect. You got enough space for your scorecards, buddy?
I do. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Here, you want a chair? Here's a chair right here.
Let's go.
All right, we are just about set to get underway here at the bottom of the first inning. Kai Timmermans fires it in, and it's popped up sky high into the infield. Handled cleanly by Shady and Yamanika for out number one. That's Brentley Martina popping out.
Going after the first ball again, first pitch.
Yeah, first pitch hunting like they were a lot on Thursday as well.
Yeah, we saw that aggressive playing style from both teams yesterday. Let's see how that factors in today.
And that brings up the number 2 hitter in the lineup, Victor Dreyer for HCAW. And he looks at ball 1 from Timmermans, breaking ball high. We got Brisbane, Australia, and Curaçao in the house, in the chat, and on YouTube. Like I said, we got people watching from all over the world. This is why we're also broadcasting in English. If you're Dutch and you're wondering why you're watching the Holland Series finals with English language announcers, that's because we have so many fans across the world watching Dutch baseball, because why wouldn't you? We have a 3-ball no strike count here on Victor Dreyer. A little bit of a stare down between Kai Timmermans and our home plate umpire today. Jason, can you give us and the people at home a roundup of our umpire crew today?
Absolutely, I definitely can. Is my mic set and everything?
As that ball is grounded up the middle, and we have our first base hit of the game. Single up the middle by Victor Dreyer means HCAW are in business here in the bottom of the first. They fell behind quickly in Thursday night's game, with Neptunus scoring twice in the bottom of the first inning. But in the third and fourth inning, the Bussumers piled on a couple of runs and took a 5-2 lead, which was later on cut to 5-3 and eventually a 5-4 win. As Jason has pulled up the umpire sheet for us.
Absolutely, we have behind home plate, we have Efrem Silvania. Not sure if I can hear myself very loud, but it's... Efrem Silvania behind home plate, Rob Haas at first base, Edwin Louisa at second base, Richard Wessel at third base. And we have the official scores here, Stovelaar and Drost, in case you wondered, who makes the calls on the plays in this game.
As there goes the runner, it's a hit and run. Ball is put in play. It's a grounder in front of Dashenko Ricardo, who fields it cleanly and throws out the runner at first. But Leandro Tromp, does move over Victor Dreyer into scoring position. But there are now 2 outs, so it's up to DH Kevin Dirksen to attempt to drive him in here. As you see, Kevin Dirksen stroll to the plate, make his way to the batter's box. Played third base on Thursday night, will be DH today. No, was he DH on Thursday as well?
Yeah, he was DH.
I thought he was
did a great job actually. He got on base every single one of his at-bats. 4 out of 4 on base, with 3 base hits, including a double. So he had a great game being the DH. And let's hope for him, for his sake, that he will be able to continue that score of 100% on base. There's strike one for Kevin Dirksen. And there's the contact, and it grounds to the shortstop. John Polonius with a throw to first base. And Kevin Dirksen is the third out of this inning, meaning that after 1 inning, the score
De glijbanen, de beste stranden. En we staan altijd voor je klaar met onze parketgaranties.
Dat doen we al meer dan 20 jaar.
En dat blijven we doen. Dus boek gerust je vakantie bij Corendon. Naar de zon met Corendon!
So we're heading to the second inning. Dennis Burgersdijk taking his warm-up pitches. He's got 2 to go, as indicated by the home plate umpire. 2 to go before we get back to business here. We got Curaçao Neptunus picking up the bats in an attempt to get themselves on the board once more, as they did in Thursday's game. Early on in the game, like Jason said before, a lot of aggressive swings on Thursday, a lot of first pitch hunting. Let's see if the strategy has changed at all today for Curaçao Neptunus' offense.
And the lineup for the offense right now, the first 3 will be Roger Bernardina, Junior Martina, and Dwayne Kemp. Roger Bernardina, just like Kevin Dirksen, his colleague on the other side, got on base on every single one of his at-bats. last Thursday.
Yeah, had a great game. Did Bernardina defensively as well. As Burgersdijk winds and delivers. It's a very good pitch. Just a bit inside. So 1 ball, no strikes here for the veteran Roger Bernardina. Shark, as his nickname still is. As Burgersdijk fires and Bernardina fouls it back to the screen for a strike. He's upset with himself. That was a good pitch. Down the middle and low. It's a sweet spot for left-handed hitters. Low and inside is where you want your pitch because you can drive it a very long way. So 1-1 the count. And Burgersdijk looks in for the sign. Winds and fires. Excellent breaking ball. Strike 2.
And the ball's outside for ball 2. Making the count 2-2.
Two and two count for Roger Bernardina, and Dennis Burgersdijk will be looking to put the veteran away here. That pitch is outside for ball 3, so full count here to the lefty slugger for Curaçao Neptunus. As that ball is grounded to second base and bobbled by Brindley Martina. So Roger Bernardina is on. It is indeed an error on Brindley Martina. And that brings Junior Martina to the plate, the DH for Curaçao Neptunus. Wearing jersey number 2. Right-handed slugger.
Bernardina taking a nice lead
Yes,
and going
huge lead, yeah.
to second base, and he gets thrown off. No, he's safe
safe.
at second.
Brindley
because,
Martina got taken out there.
tough sliding into Brindley Martina, the second baseman, who got in
Yeah,
front
he's hurt.
of Roger Bernardina.
He
The
looks
throw
hurt.
was a little bit shallow, so he had to move all the way into the walking line of Roger Bernardina, who had to make that sliding in order to make it. But he definitely hit him quite hard, and there will be some caretaking.
Yeah, there's no real urgency by the trainer there coming in, just walking, making his way to second base. But that was a hard slide by Bernardina. You can see on the right side of your screen, multiple people tending to Brindley Martina right now, who I think got his knee twisted or something like that. Either way, he wasn't able to handle the throw and tag out Bernardina and jump over the hard but fair slide by the veteran outfielder. We got manager Denny Rombley out there now as well, checking on his second baseman, who was the recipient of the Stolen Base Award prior to the ball game. Jason, you were on the field handing out some awards, some silverware.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
Very nice awards this year again, by the way. Nice glass.
Yeah, no, they look fantastic, and yeah, it's always a pleasure and an honor to also celebrate baseball in general, but especially when it comes to the prize winners, to the best ones in the league. Well, one of those, Brindley Martina, is back on his feet. He had the most stolen bases in the regular season, including the top 4 and bottom 5 competition, with 27 stolen bases.
Definitely needs his legs, so it's not a good sign when your speedy leadoff guy gets taken out. But he's back on his feet, appears to be ready to go. So we now have Roger Bernardina in scoring position at second base. And a chance here for Junior Martina to drive in the first run of the game. And he goes after the pitch, and Martina goes to third. That is a spectacular play by Brindley Martina. Unbelievable Unbelievable play. That takes some large balls to make that play right there. Ball's grounded to second base, and Martina, quick on his feet, turns open towards third base and fires a strike so that Roger Bernardina gets gunned down at third base. That is an incredibly heads-up play.
Absolutely. The easy out was definitely on first base, but he thought, no, Roger Bernardina, you just hit me quite hard. Now you're off the bases, my man. Not this time.
Sweet revenge.
Sweet revenge indeed.
That brings up Dwayne Kemp, the second baseman for Curaçao Neptunus. As Burgersdijk checks on the runner at first real quick. Junior Martina now at first base with one away here in the top of the second inning. You're watching the Holland Series Game 2. Where HCAW, the home team, hold a 1-0 lead in the best of 7 series after beating Curaçao Neptunus in Rotterdam on Thursday night. Burgersdijk with a long look in and then fires a ball low and away. So Kemp ahead in the count, 1-0. Burgersdijk once again diligently taking his time receiving his signs from his catcher. That is a very nice pitch checked by Dwayne Kemp. So a 2-0 count here, and Burgersdijk really slowing down, taking his time, making sure to not make any mistakes. Because if you hang a pitch to any of these guys in the heart of the the Neptunus lineup, they will make you pay. Fences here in Bussum are not extremely high, so it's not that difficult to clear. Like there's these gaps in left field with lower fences, so if you aim it right there, as Burgersdijk attempts to pick off Martina and fails, if you aim right between those low points in left field, you can pop one out. As there goes the runner, and Kemp swings and chops it foul and out of play.
Going for the hit and run again, aggressive play and a lot of pressure from the Curaçao Neptunus offense.
Yeah, something we're used to seeing from HCAW, putting runners in motion, hit and run, steals, etc. And right now Neptunus is trying to treat them to a similar cookie by putting runners in motion, stealing bases, hit and run attempts. As Kemp lines a shot into left field, that'll get down for a base hit. So Neptunus in business as Junior Martina takes the extra base and Kemp dives into second safely. So excellent base running there by both Curaçao Neptunus runners, because that lined shot basically ended straight in the glove for the left fielder, who just took his sweet time throwing it back in. And by then both runners had taken the extra base. So Curaçao Neptunus definitely trying to be aggressive here, trying to make things happen after losing on Thursday night in their home stadium.
Yeah, and of course, Thursday they also started the game in a pretty good fashion with 2 runs in the first inning. Now they're definitely in good shape to score some runs in the second. With Dashenko Ricardo now up for Neptunus. Runners on second and third and only 1 out.
So yeah, HCAW pulling their infield in. Not all the way on the edge of the gravel, the dirt line and the grass line, but quite close to it. Max Dreyer over at third, playing even with the bag, holding the runner. We see Brandy Martina and Bob van der Meer, the second baseman and shortstop for HCAW, creep in ever so slightly as Burgersdijk tricks Dashenko Ricardo with a nice off-speed pitch right there, and the veteran catcher swings right through it. So Burgersdijk now ahead in the count, 0-2. 1 away here, so he desperately needs the strikeout here to try and set himself up for another clean inning. as time is called by Dashenko Ricardo, or at least requested and granted.
You would think for a catcher that it might be easier to recognize the pitches that are being thrown at you. Is that true?
Especially when you know each other so well, because both Dashenko Ricardo and Dennis Burgersdijk have played together on Team Kingdom of the Netherlands, so he has caught Burgersdijk as well. But he does not see that breaking ball very well, because he whiffs weakly and misses for a strikeout. But yes, generally as a catcher, if you know, especially if you know an opposing pitcher or you've caught him before, it's not, I mean, you can still strike out, obviously, as we just saw.
Yep.
But I always, as a
ball.
former catcher, I always liked taking BP against the pitchers that I also caught.
First strikeout of the game, an important one. Runner still on second and third. Now with 2 out, Christian Diaz is batting for Curaçao Neptunus.
And
goes after the
yeah.
first pitch, pops it way up in the sky, goes for the shortstop, easy catch. And that's the third out in another inning where there was a lot of pressure on the defense of HCAW, but they managed to get out under it. So that was great job by Dennis Burgersdijk with that important strikeout against Dashenko Ricardo.
Yeah, it's not a great at-bat there by Diaz, going after the first pitch and popping it up to shortstop with 2 runners in scoring position, helping out the opposing pitcher by not making him throw any pitches in the at-bat. Especially in your first at-bat in a game, you want to stand there and take a couple pitches, see what the stuff is that you're faced with, but nope. Unfortunate for Curaçao Neptunus. They had a chance to take the early lead here, but it's back to the defensive side of things. Kai Timmermans making his way to the mound, and Louis Sanders, the backup catcher, is squatted down.
Up for HCAW will be Fildrik Llewellyn, Quinten de Cuba, and Max Dreyer. Llewellyn back from his adventure in Germany.
Did he play for Paderborn
Yeah,
or
for
Heide Cup?
Yeah. I'm not going to burn my fingers on that one again.
As you may see, manager Danny Romley here walking towards his third base batter's box, one of the few managers in the Hoofdklasse in the Netherlands who does his managing from the third base coaching box, not from the dugout. Doing a little bit of a dance along to the music, which is understandable because his team is up in the series 1-0, and after not having made it to the Holland Series for 17 years, it's nice to get that first W out of the way. Especially in an away game, because especially in Neptunus Familiestadion in Rotterdam, it's not an easy stadium to come into and take a win over the home team.
Linksvelder Fildrik Llewellyn.
Walk-up songs are on point again today, I might say. Fildrik Llewellyn steps in. Slightly open stance as Timmermans fires and delivers, and it's fouled away by Llewellyn. As there's a nice family with hot dogs in hand walking in front of our announcer booth, and that makes me want to get a hot dog as well. But it's hard to eat and talk at the same time. As Timmermans winds and fires, and that ball is grounded into left field in between the third baseman and shortstop, and Fildrik Llewellyn back in the Netherlands. It's a single into left field. And that brings up lefty slugger Quinten de Cuba, who plays first base for HCAW. Had a tough game on Thursday, both from an offensive and a defensive standpoint. So he's looking to wipe that memory from his head and make something happen here for HCAW. Pretty decent-sized lead by Llewellyn over at first base, and Timmermans takes notice and fires it to first for a pickoff attempt. Does not seem to deter Llewellyn from taking a similarly sized lead. So Timmermans winds and fires, and that is a low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes here in the bottom of the second inning. We're tied at 0. Game 2 of the Holland Series 2022 in a beautiful day in Bussum. Rain was forecast for the entire day. We haven't seen a single raindrop as Timmermans once again checks in on the runner at first base. Llewellyn back safely. So Curaçao Neptunus is definitely aware of a potential typical HCAW rally here, where they're going to put the runners in motion. There will be a potential for a steal or a hit and run here. As Timmermans once again goes to first base. Not in time. Trying to wear out that runner over at first base. So the Cuba hasn't really seen a whole lot of pitches yet. Just the 1 ball. As Timmermans now comes home, and that's ball 2 outside. Quite windy here in the Rob Hofman Valley. Wind blowing in from right field, right to left, I should say. As Timmermans fires, and that is ball 3.
Just get on base. Keep him busy, Fildrick.
So the Cuba might be looking for a couple extra pitches here, because I don't know if you're going to green light him on 3-0, and there's no need, because that is ball 4. And Quinton de Cuba takes first base and moves Fildrick Llewellyn to second, and HCAW are in business here with nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. And Max Dreyer making his way to the plate.
Yeah, with his signature walk-up song, I remember that he played at Hoofddorp Pioniers when he asked for this song as his walk-up song. Was a great hit, actually.
This was Jeremy Guthrie's favorite song during Hongball Week as well. For those of you who didn't watch any of our broadcasts, former Major League pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles, among others. Jeremy Guthrie was at Hongball Week and visited us in the booth, and he loved that song. As that's a veteran move there by Dashenko Ricardo, running into the batter who attempted to bunt, and Curaçao Neptunus are claiming interference by Dreyer over in the batter's box, but I do believe he had 2 feet in the box at all times and therefore was not interfering with anything, and Ricardo was just moving forward and bumping into him so as to trigger a interference call from the home plate umpire, but he said nope. Yeah, Jeremy Guthrie had no idea what the song was about. He had no idea about the lyrics, but I stood next to him on the, right after the final, and he was just singing along, just making noise, making sounds. He absolutely loved that song. As apparently does Max Dreyer, who has been using it for a while. Curaçao Neptunus' defense fully expecting another bunt, barreling down the home plate, even though Dreyer had not turned to bunt.
No, he didn't show it, and that's probably why Kai Timmermans decided to turn around and to fake the throw at second base. Because he saw the third baseman, Stijn van der Meer, coming in, expecting the bunt, but he just didn't show it. So he had to wait a bit, give Stijn van der Meer a chance and some time to head back to his third base position. And it looks like Max Dreyer is either going to hide it until very late or not going to bunt it.
As Timmermans steps off.
Yeah, well, once again, yeah, it's not necessarily to keep the runner at second short. It's more to know, to see what is Max Dreyer gonna do. Is he gonna bunt? Is he gonna show it at some point? He has to, if he's going to, if I wait long enough, but he just doesn't. And now both first and third baseman came running in to be there on time.
As Timmermans looks in for the sign.
He is
Dreyer
gonna
indeed
bunt.
attempts to
Yeah.
bunt, but fails at the sacrifice attempt. So now he has an 0-2 count, which means the bunt will in all likelihood be off. So Shadin Yamanika backs up a couple of steps.
Yeah, no bunting anymore from now on. With 2 strikes. And there's ball 1 for Max Dreyer.
Slider outside, just a little bit too much on that. A little bit too much spin on that one. Timmermans has a very interesting slider. It doesn't break down as much as it breaks right to left.
To the side.
Yeah, it's a very horizontal movement. Like a frisbee.
Looking.
That's a nice pitch.
Yeah, he probably thought it was a little bit on the low side. He didn't really expect that one to be a strike, not even when it was thrown and when it was in the glove of the catcher. But Silvania was quite sure of it.
Someone's messing with you in the chat. Luis Miguel de Roja Tercera is asking us where did the bad weather go? Yeah, there's no bad weather, but he said he's making up a question just to hear you say his name again.
It was your turn again this
yeah.
your turn this time.
As that first pitch too. Bob van der Meer is a ball. Timmermans laboring a little bit. Thursday's game was a fast one. Both pitchers just grabbing the ball, grabbing and throwing. Give me the ball, I'll pitch. And today, both Burgersdijk and Timmermans have been working diligently, i.e. slowly. As that is check swing foul ball by Van der Meer out and over the crowd, which is showing up today, man. It's almost packed. See a couple of empty seats left to the left of us, but packed stadium today here in Bussum, as you can see on your TV screen as well. Long look in again by Timmermans, taking his time, strategizing with his catcher to come up with a sequence to retire Bob van der Meer as that pitch is fouled and into the woods. So 1-2 count here, 1 away. Bottom of the second inning, we're tied at 0. HCAW attempting to put a runner on, or at least 2 runners in scoring position. They have 1 in scoring position. You see jersey number 5 in front of you on your screen. That's the runner in scoring position.
Filderic Llewellyn.
We also have Quinton de Cuba over at first base. As Timmermans turns and fires it in the second. But Llewellyn back in time. Don't think Filderic Llewellyn is going to buy Kai Timmermans a Christmas card this year, because he's been making him work. Pick off attempts left and right.
Gets the sign from the second baseman. Okay, you just throw it right now, and it grounds to Dwayne Kemp there. He tags, and there is the throw in time at first base, and that's a double play. Well done by Dwayne Kemp. Quinton de Cuba and Bob van der Meer are both the outs in this double play. Well done by Dwayne Kemp.
Yeah, that's heads-up defense right there.
Absolutely. He gave the sign to Kai Timmermans. Okay, you throw the ball. I'll be sure to be here on point to make that play, to make that defensive play.
We vliegen al jaren naar de mooiste beste bestemmingen.
Zorgen
De
voor
gebouwen
het
waarin wij
lekkerste eten,
verblijven zijn
koelende
allemaal
zwembaden,
gebouwd met
de
een
vetste
doel,
glijbanen,
met een
de beste
visie.
stranden. En we staan altijd voor je klaar met onze pakketgaranties.
Dat doen we.
Met ons team zorgen wij ervoor dat u fijn kunt wonen, ongestoord kunt werken en in een fijne omgeving kunt leren. Wij creëren een veilige en comfortabele omgeving voor jong en oud. Wij bouwen, verbouwen, renoveren, transformeren en onderhouden. Onze gepassioneerde medewerkers zijn nauw betrokken bij hun werk. Ze staan elke dag vroeg op om uw dromen te realiseren. Vanuit onze vestiging in Naarden bestrijken wij al bijna 30 jaar een ruim gebied. In en rondom het Gooi, maar ook daarbuiten. Dit doen wij met onze betrouwbare en vakkundige medewerkers. Mensen met een passie voor het vak, oog voor detail en die nooit te oud zijn om te leren. Om kwaliteit te blijven garanderen.
Curaçao, Neptunus aan de slag. Eerste hoofd van Stadium Yamanika.
And we're heading to the top of the third inning. You can see we have commercials this broadcast. This was a long one. We had to cut it a little bit short to make it back to the game in time. As Dennis Burgersdijk is back to work. And his first pitch is a ball high and outside. Shadian Yamanika, the batter for Curaçao Neptunus, the number 9 hitter in the lineup, playing first base today, also wearing jersey number 3. And he swings and hits that into left field where it is caught on a seemingly not entirely necessary dive, but it looks nice anyway. So it's we'll take it. Hang a star on that one, right?
show diving a little bit, absolutely, but it's nice. It's always good to have some players who are a little bit showboating.
Yeah, Patrick Llewellyn in left field for HCAW is the Jim Edmonds of Bussum. Jim Edmonds, the famous outfielder for the Cardinals for many years, among many others, who was known to slow down his run just so that he could dive and make it look good. But a quick one out as Stijn van der Meer digs in. Squares to bunt, but pulls it back for a ball.
That's ball 1 for him, and
Burgersdijk takes the sign. Winds and fires, that's a strike, yes. It's a nice pitch. Van der Meer is making him work a little bit. I think that's a smart idea. You don't want to give Burgersdijk, who is known to pitch deep into ball games. He's got a lot of stamina in that right arm. You don't want to give him easy outs, as Van der Meer, as I say that, pops it up into right field for the second out of the inning. The people at home can't see it, but Jason has been trying to get Wi-Fi on his laptop for the last like 15 minutes.
I gave up. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Our producer, Jeroen Goedemans, is shaking his head. No, it's not going to work. So, unfortunate. You can hotspot your BlackBerry, maybe.
I don't think that was invented when this phone was.
Yildido Tromp has stepped into the box here to take on Dennis Burgersdijk. Tromp wearing his socks high, the classic look. That's a strike in the upper half of the zone there by Burgersdijk. That's a breaking pitch, high and tight, fouled off by Yildido Tromp, the veteran left fielder. 1-2 count here with 2 away in the top of the third inning. We're all tied at 0. It's donuts. Bergersdijk with a nasty curveball. And no argument from Tromp there. He was fooled on that pitch, and he strikes out. So that ends a, once again, very quick half of the inning for Bergersdijk. He's really and asked him like, why? How can you explain the fresh, new brand of baseball that HCAW has shown this year? And is it all you? And he laughed and he said, well, the guys seem to think so, but he's clearly indicating that he's just got a very good team, a very complete team, all well-rounded ball players. And one of them is stepping into the box right now is Julian Goins, the catcher again today. He'll dig in against Kai Timmermans, who's back out there for his 3rd inning of work. He's only given up 2 hits. There's been a lot of activity on the bases otherwise for Timmermans, so he's hasn't been like the easy going for him so far. Very high intensity ball game for him so far. As his first pitch is a ball. And he winds and delivers the second pitch of the at-bat, and that is inside for ball 2. Julian Goins is the number 9 hitter for HCAW. Played a good ball game on Thursday as well.
Scored 2 runs.
Timmermans fires, and that is just a bit high, I guess. So that's ball 3, 3-0 here. And Goins will probably not be taking the bat off his shoulders for this next pitch. Make him throw a strike. And Timmermans does just that. Fastball outside on the outside edge. 3-1. As that is ball 4. So Julian Goins heading to first. Timmermans looking in, confused about that last pitch. So his catcher, Dashenko Ricardo, walks over to have a little chat with him, strategize about what to do about Julian Goins at first base, especially with the speedy Brentley Martina, the leadoff hitter and stolen base king of the Dutch Baseball League. Making it. And apparently his legs have been fine after he got bowled over by Roger Bernardina earlier in the game at second base. Martina looks fine as he bunts it foul into the third base territory. Manufacturing runs is what I talked to Brentley Martina about after Thursday night's game. HCAW is a team that manufactures runs. They use speed, they use bunting, timely hitting, contact hits. It's not a power hitting team at all. But they have a bunch of really clutch hitters on the team, play good defense. And they can just do many different things. They can surprise you at any time, which is why Stijn van der Meer over at third base for Curaçao Neptunus is playing in now, anticipating a potential bunt attempt, and there it will be. It is pulled back and then a pickoff attempt over at first base, but the runner is safe. So Martina pulled back the bunt. It was a ball, so 1-1 count now to the leadoff man, second baseman, who told me on Thursday he was just very happy to be here with this team in the Holland Series, playing for all the marbles in the Dutch Baseball League. Has to dive back.
Quick on his feet, Julian Goins. As well with the previous pickoff attempt. As soon as Martina pulled his bat back, he had to react really quick because you're on your feet. You want to be as quick as possible to second base, and there he goes. It's the hit and run, and there's the hit and the run. It's beautiful, well performed by Julian Goins, and Brandley Martina well executed.
HCAW in business as Biggie blasts through the speakers here. The notorious B.I.G.
That was a great base hit by Brandley Martina, finding the gap on the left side. And with the hit and run, it was a perfect timing for Julian Goins to get easy to second base.
So now Victor Dreyer with an attempt here to put HCAW on the board. Nobody out here, runners on first and second. And once again, a lot of traffic on the bases for Kai Timmermans. And there's the bunt by Dreyer. That is an outstanding bunt, but that will go just foul. Really well done by Kai Timmermans, just not making any contact with it, letting it roll. There's no way you're going to throw him out anyway, so you might as well gamble and hope that it rolls foul, even on this artificial turf, so there's no real chance for hitting a rock and bouncing out of play. So you really have to hope it rolls foul. And it did.
Maybe he also saw a little bit of the spinning of the ball, that he gambled for it to actually go out to roll in the end. It took a while though to pass the line. For Kai Timmermans, a good break, because now there's only runners on first and second. Looking at a one strike.
As Stijn van der Meer came running to home plate. And eventually time is called, because that took a little bit too long.
Kai Timmermans again looking if he can find some way that he can spot, is he gonna bunt or not? Just with Max Dreyer in the last inning, he's just eyeballing it. Is he gonna show the bunt or not? And he does not. He swings for it.
Chops it foul, rolls to the screen, so we have bad boy activity. There he is. Nice job. Quickly out of the dugout to grab it.
Yeah, although with this pace of Kai Timmermans, you can take your time.
Yeah. You are not wrong, my friend. It's exhausting, though, as a pitcher, to constantly have runners on, constantly be pitching from the stretch, and then there's the, in Timmermans' case, constant stepping off. It's got to be mentally draining for a pitcher to not be able to just focus on one guy. You have to keep an eye on those speedy runners, because Goins at second base, not a slow runner at all. And of course, the speedy Brandley Martina over at first base, as that pitch by Timmermans is a breaking ball outside for a ball. So 1-2 now to Victor Dreyer, the number 2 hitter in the lineup, playing right field today for HCAW. Timmermans once again, long look into the signs, as once again a pickoff attempt, as we saw Dwayne Kemp come barreling down to second base.
Yeah, there's a lot of communication going on between Dwayne Kemp and the pitcher, Kai Timmermans.
I mean, Goins does not really have like a huge lead, so. As Dreyer swings and misses. A very nice pitch there, a breaking ball. That seemed like a slider that did break downwards a little bit more. So maybe he has multiple different breaking pitches that he uses, Timmermans. And that brings up the number 3 hitter, Jandro Tromp, whose father is sitting right about in front of us to our left. Spotted him earlier wearing a Red Sox hat, supporting his son, the starting outfielder for HCAW Bussum for the last couple of seasons. As that pitch by Timmermans is high and tight for a ball. Tromp got out of the way quickly. Kevin Dirkse on deck.
Kai Timmermans must feel right at home here on the pitcher's mound here in Bussum. He has pitched a lot of games for HCAW. He's been part of the organization professionally since 2012 until 2020 when he joined the Neptunus organization for the past 2 years. So had a whole baseball life on its own here in Bussum at HCAW. Now facing them in the Holland Series with a double steal, and they hit a run, and there you go. It's Jandro Tromp with the RBI. There it is, first run of the game. Julian Goins comes for HCAW, comes through with the first run. Brentley Martina makes it to third base, and that's a fantastically well executed play by HCAW, by Danny Romley's team.
Absolutely love this brand of baseball, and it's almost like Romley is going full force with the aggressiveness, because this is just so much fun, man. If it's not a hit and run, it's a steal. In this case, even a double steal hit and run, like you can't make it up. It's real fun brand of baseball that we're seeing here. Kevin Dirkse with a chance with the runner at third to expand the lead from 1-0 to 2-0. He's gonna want to keep the ball out of a double play with a runner at first base as well, as that first pitch is called a ball, much to the dismay of multiple Curaçao Neptunus players, even from all the way from right field, some gesturing about that pitch call, and Dashenko Ricardo also checking in with the home plate umpire, and we have manager Larry Legito coming out of the dugout to have a little chat about the strike zone.
Yeah, the run that just came in definitely hurt quite a lot. Now they're a little bit on edge with everyone and everything.
Crew chief Edwin Luisa, umpire at second base, is walking in now to break up the conversation at home plate. It's ongoing. Riley Legito wanted to get his...
he needs to get the pressure off of his team a little bit. He needs to get the attention pointed towards him and pointed towards the umpire crew, just to get the pressure off of his own team for a second. Because that run just now was quite a big blow, especially mentally.
Well, you have to as a manager, right? When multiple players on your team at the same time complain about a call, you have to come out and protect your players. So, and there goes the runner. Tromp is trying to steal second base, and he will be hung up between first and second, and that gives Brentley Martina the chance to go home as Kemp fires it home. And Brentley Martina retired trying to take home. So this was a delayed steal, I think, by Jandro Tromp, with an attempt to have Brentley Martina cross home plate in a sort of like double rundown situation. But Dwayne Kemp, as the veteran infielder that he is, cannot be fooled. He waited long enough so that Brentley Martina felt like he could go home, and then still fired a perfect strike to Dashenko Ricardo, who put the tag on Brentley Martina to retire this speedy runner from third base. So the aggressiveness here biting HCAW in the butt a little bit, because you don't want to have a runner thrown out at home with one out. But that's the situation as it is. So Kevin Dirkse now still has a runner in scoring position. That's Jandro Tromp over at second base. He's going to want to try and played him anyway. It's going to take a base hit now for him to score. As a 2-1 count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. You're watching Holland Series 2022, Game 2. As Dirksen grounds it to 3rd base, it's vacuumed up by Stijn van der Meer. And he throws out Dirksen. So, considering everything, Kai Timmermans able to limit the damage to only 1 run. As Riley Legito once again comes out of the dugout, takes his lollipop out of his mouth.
That's one more conversation with Efrem Silvania, the home plate umpire, explaining what he came to look for, what he was asking him, and getting his answer right back at him.
You're gonna have to believe us, by the way, that they're having a conversation, because none of they're in the dead spot for all our cameras. So we're trying to get them on screen, but we can't because they're on the far left side of your screen right now. There it is. It's almost like Riley Legito knew exactly where the cameras were. And we're like, I don't want to be on TV today.
Exactly. I'm not surprised that with the 1-3 situation just now that you saw the double steal attempt at least. It's part of Danny Rombly's tactical gameplay, his aggressiveness that he is able to portray on the field, offensively mainly. And I'm not surprised that he went for it. I was surprised though that Brandley Martina didn't go right away when the ball was thrown to 2nd base from the catcher. But he was probably looking if it was intercepted by any of the field players to have the throw back right at the catcher at the home plate. But then it was a double rundown indeed with a fantastic defensive action, fantastic throw by Dwayne Kemp, the 2nd baseman.
Wow, custom t-shirts here at HCAW. Holland Series 2022 t-shirts. That is some awesome marketing.
Absolutely, professional.
Oh,
yes, it is.
Jeroen Groenemans showing his version. He's got one.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very
I might have to come through with my promise to buy a hat that I made on Thursday.
I think you do.
Yeah. I was talking about how much I like the Bussum hats. As the first pitch by Dennis Burgersdijk is called a ball to John Polonius, the shortstop for Curaçao Neptunus, who's leading off here in the top of the 4th. It's 1-0 HCAW as Polonius lines it foul and into the bullpen direction in left field. 1-1.
On deck is Roger Bernardina. And after that will be DH Junior Martina. 3 very strong batters up now for Curaçao Neptunus. John Poloni is leading it up, looking at a 2-1 count now.
Curaçao Neptunus only 1 hit so far today. Burgersdijk has kept him in check throughout most of the start of this game. As that pitch is high in the zone and popped up right around above 2nd base, and Brandley Martina calls everyone off and hauls it in for the out. And that brings up Roger Bernardina. Left-handed batter stepping in against the right-handed Dennis Burgersdijk. As Burgersdijk throws strike 1, called by home plate umpire Silvania.
Bernardina came on base in his previous at-bat with an error by Martina, 2nd baseman.
He fouls that next pitch back to the screen.
And he had a stolen base with a sliding on Brandley Martina.
Quite literally, yeah.
Yep.
Wiped him out.
Wiped him out and then got thrown off a 3rd base by Brandley Martina. Let's see if they face each other once more.
Burgersdijk's next pitch is outside.
There's the contact, flying into left field, and there's the catch. Quite an easy catch for Llewellyn. And that's the second out of this inning. Roger Bernardina being the second out.
Yeah, this time Llewellyn did not hold up and make a showboaty catch. He just decided to just grab it. Let's keep it going.
Exactly, and of the three monster hitters for Curaçao Neptunus that were, there's only one left. John Poloni is out. Roger Bernardina is out. Up now, DH Junior Martina hunting for that first pitch. Fouls it back and away.
On the
Strike
rooftop of our announcer booth, which is huge, by the way.
Yeah.
The biggest booth I've ever been in.
True.
Best seats in the house, as Rulli Henrik once again also in the house. As Junior Martina swings and hits it way high, but also way foul and out of play.
That might land somewhere in Rotterdam, maybe. It was incredibly high.
Burgersdijk once again with a long look in. And he misses his spot by quite a bit because Goins wanted that pitch low and outside and ended up high and down the middle. So 1-2 count here to Junior Martina as Burgersdijk now speeds it up a little bit and once again misses high. Once again by quite a bit. So Burgersdijk a little erratic here, not hitting the spots that his catcher wants him to hit. 2-2 count, 2 away here. Top of the fourth inning. Martina fouls it back and over our heads once again. So the count hangs at 2. Goins once again setting up low and outside. Let's see where Burgersdijk's pitch ends up. Exactly where he needed it to be. Slider outside, fouled away by Martina. That is a nasty, nasty curveball by Burgersdijk. It's not the first time today that he used that curve to put away one of the Curaçao Neptunus hitters. Gianlito Tromp also victimized by one of these nasty 12-6 curveballs that Burgersdijk pulls out of his back pockets every now and again. He doesn't use it much, but when he does, it usually leads to a strikeout, as we saw just now. So Curaçao Neptunus still only the one hit on the scoreboard. Burgersdijk has shut them down completely. We're heading to the bottom of the different color markers again.
I did. I forgot it on
Thursday. I saw, yeah.
So today when I walked out, I thought, I need my red and yellow and blue and purple and everything.
For those of you who don't know, Jason always keeps score. He has his score sheets, his scorecards here right next to me.
Yeah.
Which is great for me, by the way, because I get to just watch baseball and every now and again peek down to see what Jason wrote down.
Exactly.
But he has a system where he uses 3 or 4 different color markers. The red, blue, green, and black, I think you got with you today.
Yep, exactly.
And there's this whole system. I had to know how it worked, so he explained it to me during baseball week, and it's actually very handy.
I agree. They used to do it that way with the score. The official scorers used to do it that way as well. Now they don't anymore, actually. They use extra marks that they use in order to see who hit which ball and for which pitcher it counts. And they do it all with pencil now, with Just a normal potlood. With a potload.
The pencil.
Yeah, pencil. Up now for HCAW in inning number 4. Their 4th at bat for HCAW is Patrick Llewellyn. And he looks at strike 1. Nice delivery by Kai Timmermans, who seems to also pick up the pace a little bit when there's no one on the base. Llewellyn showing a bunt there. Maybe he went for the surprise bunt, and again Neptunus not happy with the call of Efrem Sylvania. He gave this one a ball. And
yeah, that's risky.
Ricardo
That's
is
risky.
Definitely not happy about that. Again, after in the last inning, they already had a big discussion with the umpire, with the home plate umpire.
Yeah, Dashenko Ricardo flipped his helmet off right in front of Sylvania's feet, as if making a point. I don't know if this is the way. Riley Legito came out of the dugout, and he's pulling his entire team, his entire infield in around the mound to have a conversation. Also joining in, second base umpire and crew chief Edwin Luisa. I never quite understand why umpires have to be part of a conversation, but I guess he's just curious. So everyone's moving away back to their respective positions, and Legito once again checking in with Sylvania about the situation.
Yeah, now probably just listening, because Efrem Sylvania is telling him now stuff, and there's no talking back. I can guarantee you that. There's one-way conversation from Sylvania to the coach, telling him if things like this happen more often, people will get rejected at some point, because throwing your helmet to the feet of the umpire as the catcher.
I cannot imagine Legito is going to make it out of this ball game. He's not going to. He's been giving a ginormous leash by Sylvania and crew chief Edwin Luisa, because this is like the 3rd or 4th time they're arguing balls and strikes. So
exactly,
that is a substantial leash that he got. So maybe Sylvania deep down feels like he missed a couple and is providing some extra leeway for Legito, but I have a feeling there might be some more action later on. But who knows? This is a strike. Kai Timmermans' next pitch called a strike.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Llewellyn let that one go that easily. It's actually a very nice pitch, but he doesn't let this one go, and it's fielded by Dwayne Kemp, and the throw is not good enough. It was a big stretch for first baseman Shadion Yamanika. Too hard to handle, even though the move itself from Dwayne Kemp was very sweet. The throw just wasn't on point and wasn't able to be converted into an out by Yamanika. Nice base hit by Filderic Llewellyn, a leadoff single. It's his 2nd leadoff single in this ball game. He did the same thing in the 2nd inning as well. That didn't lead to any scores though. Any scored runs, so he might be now. It's Quentin de Cuba. That's the first one go for strike 1. Not chasing that first pitch anymore that much. Right now it's also a matter of let the pitcher throw the balls. Get his arm going, get his arm weakened, and test him out. How long can he stretch this game? Because yes, Thursday, Subaran wasn't able to stretch it that long. And now it's a 1-1 count for Quentin de Cuba. Runner on first, no one out. That ball's low, but it's a strike, yep. No one outside, hitting the strike zone. No complaints from anyone. Of course not, it goes your way. Why would you? So it's the 1-2 pitch now. That's definitely a ball that hit the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. De Cuba looking for his base hit. Got on base in his previous at-bat. Base on balls. Now there's the pick-off attempt on first base. Keeping Fildrick Llewellyn short on that first base. Because Timmermans has seen and witnessed a little bit too many hit and runs so far. And they all succeeded as well, so...
Yeah, they're in his head, as that is lined into right field by Quinton de Cuba. And that will move Llewellyn to third base easily, as the throw from the outfield is cut off by Dwayne Kemp. And HCAW once again in business. Runners on first and third now. Quinton de Cuba at first, and Fildrick Llewellyn at third base. We have no activity in the Curaçao Neptunus bullpen yet, so as of right now, it is Kai Timmermans' inning. And another short, very short conversation between Dashenko Ricardo and his pitcher. And now they have to come up with a way to defend this next thing that Danny Romley, the manager for HCAW, will pull out of the hat. Because I have a feeling there's going to be more trickery. And Neptunus agrees with me, because they are definitely putting some defensive things in motion here. Dashenko Ricardo signaling to his field, this is how we're going to approach this this next couple of pitches. Runners on first and third. We don't want to get caught in like a delayed steal situation once again.
Yeah, there's a big chance that Romley is going to go for the 1-3 trick once more. Problem is with for the offensive side is that Dashenko Ricardo, the catcher, has such a great arm that he can actually deny a place like that. Interesting enough, what is going to happen?
Ooh. Way deep in the left field, where it is caught by Giondino Tromp, but that will be plenty deep enough to score. Fildrick Llewellyn and HCAW have doubled their lead, and it's 2-0 for the home team. So nice job by Max Dreyer.
Max Dreyer. Sacrifice fly, very well executed.
That was very Barry White of you right there. Sacrifice fly. Another really funny thing that people at home are not seeing, but I have been enjoying tremendously over the last maybe, 25 minutes, is that we took a picture of the t-shirt, the Holland Series t-shirt, 20 minutes ago to show you guys in the broadcast, and Jeroen has been working on trying to get that picture on the screen for the last, 20, 25 minutes. There it is. Good times, good times. In the meantime, 1 ball, no strikes to Bob van der Meer, the shortstop for HCAW, number 8 hitter in the lineup, who takes a strike here. So it's 1-1 with 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's a slow ball game today.
Yeah, 2 pitchers taking their time for the in between the pitches, but also a lot of talking amongst each other. There's the contact, going to shortstop for the double play, 6-4-3 double play. There it is. Well executed by Curaçao Neptunus. Quinton de Cuba and Bob van der Meer are both the outs in this well executed 6-4-3 double play.
There it is. Beautiful Holland Series t-shirt. Nice job by HCAW leaning into the celebration. Which it is. It's a celebration. It's they've made it back to the Holland Series for the first time in 17 years. For Curaçao Neptunus, it's a yearly affair. But the Bussumers are, visits to the national championships are few and far between for Honkbalclub Allen Weerbaar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they're up by 2. I mean, it's a great day. It's a great atmosphere. The weather is fantastic.
Yeah, we're lucky, man. I looked at the weather forecast this morning. It said rain all afternoon.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking up. I see blue skies, and nothing but blue skies. So very happy to be here today. We were welcomed very nicely here by the HCAW people. Everyone working hard to make this a beautiful experience for everyone watching a ball game here on Saturday. You're watching the Holland Series 2022. This is game 2 of a best-of-7 series between HCAW from Bussum and Curaçao Neptunus. My name is Jasper Roos, and right next to me in the booth, Jason Houtkamp. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to talk to us and ask us questions or check in from anywhere in the world, wherever you may be, you can do so by going to YouTube, the KMBSB YouTube page, where we're also broadcasting this game. We're on honkbalsoftball.tv, we're on the WBSC website, and on YouTube. But if you want to chat with us, if you want to check in and say hi, please do. You can do so in the chat under our YouTube stream, or I guess right next to our YouTube screen. I don't know. Depends on if you're checking in from a computer or a phone.
Yeah.
You'll be able to find the chat.
And your own settings as well.
So we head to the top of the 5th inning. Dennis Burgersdijk back to work for HCAW, and Dwayne Kemp is the batter. First pitch by Burgersdijk is high for a ball.
In case you're wondering why we are speaking English, we're also broadcasting internationally, of course through internet, but also on international base and softball websites. So that means from all over the world people are able to listen and follow this live stream with our commentary as well, with our live commentary. So that's why we're in English, even though it's the Holland Series. We hope you can all follow what we're saying.
Kemp, meanwhile, well ahead in the count, 3-0. And Burgersdijk not close for with all 3 pitches. So let's see if Kemp gets the green light here to swing 3-0. He does not, because that pitch was right down the middle, so he was just waiting for Burgersdijk to throw him a strike first. As Kemp lines that next pitch foul and out of play on top of the batting cage in right field. So we have a full count here for Dwayne Kemp, who's leading off the bottom top of the 5th. The bottom top of the 5th. We were in the top of the 5th, of course.
Top of the 5th, yes. And just like that, the advantage for Dwamp disappeared more or less. He was up by 3-0. Full count now, swings for it, makes the contact, and the ball goes to Bob van der Meer, throws it nicely. That's hard enough for Bob van der Meer, the shortstop, to make that throw. Had to turn all the way into first base with his arm, and a great throw it was.
Yeah, this is where you see the speedy infield. This, I mentioned it in the first inning. We're playing on artificial turf here, or at least the entire infield except for the home plate area is artificial turf, which means that baseballs pick up speed quicker than they would on real grass, so to speak. So you could tell Bob van der Meer plays his home games on this field because he knew how to approach that baseball. He did not cut it off straight away. He went back a little bit to get behind the ball because he knew that once it bounced a second time, it would pick up a ton of speed. So this is the home field advantage. If you play your home games here, you know how this field acts. And clearly Bob van der Meer aware of his surroundings. by Burgersdijk. Break the ball lower right.
Another full count. No one on the base, one out. The ball is low for ball 4 and it's a walk for Ricardo. Free walk to first base. Doesn't have to do a whole lot for that. Oh, it was quite an extensive.
Johnny on the spot on Thursday. He made multiple plays. I think at one point he counted 7 or 8 putouts. Ball magnet in his glove.
Op de dugouts te gaan zitten.
Inducing a double play. Excuse me.
Actie 6 uit het tweede honk en 6 standing uit het eerste honk. Komt het einde aan het eerste gedeelte van de 5e inning. Dan maak ik nog even van de gelegenheid gebruik voordat we de muziek aanzetten. Om al die vrijwilligers te bedanken die vandaag zijn ingezet om te zorgen dat wij met z'n allen een hele fijne middag hebben. Grandioos, jongens en meisjes. Hartstikke bedankt.
Yeah, we're still here. We're all good.
Oh yeah, still hear myself absolutely. Yeah, well, we're looking at Dennis Burgersdijk's statistics after 5 innings. He has 3 strikeouts, 1 base on balls. He had only 1 hit against, and his field made 1 error. So 3-1-1-1. That's pretty good for halfway the game. So only 1 base hit for Curaçao Neptunus against 5 for HCAW. 2 strikeouts for Kai Timmermans. 3 base on balls.
Hacienda Ricardo finally made his way over to home plate. He had to put on his entire catching gear first. Yep. Yeah, took a little while, but he's here. So Louis J. Seniors can walk back to the dugout, the backup and bullpen catcher for Curaçao Neptunus, who does the catching in between innings if he needs to.
Bottom of the 5th. First up is Julian Goins for HCAW batting. Second is on top of the order Brentley Martina. And the third one will be Victor Dreyer. Julian Goins, one of the 2 players that scored a run this game. He scored the first of the 2. Ahead, leading by, HCAW ahead by 2 runs. And this one gets popped way up into foul territory. And it's handled by first baseman Shadion Yamanika. The foul territory being quite large here in Bussum. The distance between the dugouts and the first base, for that matter, or third base, is quite big, which gives a lot of opportunity if a ball gets popped up like that for either the catcher or the first baseman to get underneath and make the out, make the catch, and get the out on the board, just happened. Shadion Yamanika being able to do so. Next up is Brentley Martina on top of the order. That's his first ball go for ball 1.
And he turned to bunt, or at least he showed some kind of bunt, but I don't think the bunt was ever really on. That was just to mess with Kai Timmermans a little bit. So that next pitch is a strike, so it's a 1-1 count here for Brentley Martina. No activity in either bullpen, really. So for now, Timmermans and Burgersdijk, the pitchers of record and the pitchers on the mound. I wonder how many pitches Timmermans has thrown. Can you pull that up, Jason? Do you have?
I'm not sure if I still have internet, but we'll have a gander.
Two-two count here as Timmermans winds, fires, and that is a nice breaking pitch out of the zone. Tried to get Martina to chase, but the leadoff hitter did not. So we have a full count here, and we'll have a payoff pitch coming Brentley Martina's way. Timmermans quickly received the sign. That's a very nice breaking pitch again. And Martina swings and misses and is retired with a strikeout. And that brings up Victor Dreyer. 62 pitches is Kai Timmermans' current pitch count.
.39 of them being strikes.
Yeah, it seemed like he's been throwing a lot more pitches, but I guess the pitch tracker doesn't really take into account that he's also thrown 25 pickoff attempts. So
Yeah, exactly.
as that ball is grounded to Stijn van der Meer, who fields it cleanly and throws him out. That's the first really easy, really quick inning by Timmermans, who picked up the pace in between pitches too. That's something you see more often than not. When pitchers slow the game down too much for themselves, it's going to lead to issues. If you just keep pitching, just get the ball and pitch, things tend to go your way a little more. Nice inning for Timmermans and his defense right here.
Absolutely. The comparison between Kai Timmermans and his colleague Dennis Burgersdijk on the other side is after 5 innings, 65 pitches for Timmermans and 61 for Dennis Burgersdijk. Both around the 40 mark of numbers of strikes. 39 and 41.
HCAW leading here 2-0 in their home stadium, and this is how that happened. Jandro Tromp singled in Julian Goins in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the 1-0 lead, and in the bottom of the 4th it was a sacrifice fly by Max Dreyer that put the 2-0 score on our scoreboard in right field. So that's how we got here. Excellent pitching by Dennis Burgersdijk so far, who has been very good for HCAW. In the meantime, the HCAW offense pushing all the right buttons, putting runners in motion. We've seen steal attempts, hit and run attempts, double steal attempts, delayed steal attempts. It's been a very interesting ball game so far. And Burgersdijk only giving up 1 hit so far to the ever dangerous Curaçao Neptunus lineup, while HCAW themselves have put 5 hits on the scoreboard. Both teams in error as well. As we are getting underway here in the top of the 6th. Burgersdijk once again ready to go. Shadin Jamanika, jersey number 3, also playing position number 3, first base for Curaçao Neptunus. Leads it off here in the top of the 6th. That's a nice breaking ball by Burgersdijk. Called a strike on the outside part of the plate. And that makes it an 0-2 count to Shadin Jamanika. the number 9 hitter for Curaçao Neptunus. So we're about to turn the lineup over as Stijn van der Meer in the on-deck circle as Yamanika grounds that ball foul into the third base foul area. Stijn van der Meer taking his warm-up swings in the on-deck circle. As Burgersdijk gets ready to attempt to put Yamanika away here in an 0-2 count as he winds, fires, and delivers, and that was a beautiful pitch called for a strike. So Burgersdijk with a strikeout, his 4th of the ball game.
Yamanika had to turn around once more while he was walking away, just to ask, was that ball indeed a strike or what was happening there? Because he was doubting whether it was or not, but so far Curaçao Neptunus has been doubting a lot of the calls that the home plate umpire has made so far. But that's mainly because they're not in their favor. And yeah, they can't seem to get over that. Especially when you're trailing by 2 runs, of course. It gets harder and harder as time progresses.
Burgersdijk is in a groove now.
Right too, absolutely.
He's feeling himself right now as he is ahead in the count 0-2 once again, this time to Stijn van der Meer.
Of the 4 strikeouts that he threw so far, 4 strikeouts, 3 of them were looking.
Yeah, the Curaçao Neptunus offense is not seeing Burgersdijk very well.
Stijn van der Meer.
That's such a nice
make
pitch.
contact, but he is on time. Yeah, he is on time on first base. Had to wait for the call for a second. It was fielded by Dennis Burgersdijk himself. Threw it to first base, but not in time. Stijn van der Meer saw that he would hit it nice enough to go for the sprint and was safe on first base.
It's a nice play by Quinton de Cuba, though, with a little bit of a stretch to try and pull that baseball in. But Stijn van der Meer, speedy enough to beat it out for an infield single. And that brings up jersey number 12. You know what time it is. It is Giandido Tromp time. Playing left field today for Curaçao Neptunus, and he's going to be looking to at least move Van der Meer over as he grounds that one foul on a play on the right side. For strike 1, and this has been the story for Burgersdijk. He's been getting ahead of hitters pretty much the entire ball game. First pitch strikes, or at least getting ahead in the count early in the at-bats. And that gives you an opportunity to put batters away, to put them away, to sequence your pitches in a way that you feel comfortable with. And he's looked mighty.
going to be a dangerous position. The numbers 3, 4, and 5 in the batting order.
We're having some intermittent audio issues, so there's a good chance that Jason and I have been talking for a couple of minutes. You didn't hear any of our thoughtful insights.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Then you missed something.
It's for those of you interested in a little bit of behind the scenes. We have we work with with the clubs, and we're reliant on their gear. So it's basically a new mix. There's a lot of clicking in my ear going on, but apparently we're still live and up in the air. So
good. In that case, we can look at the first batter in this offensive inning for HCAW. It's going to be Jeandro Tromp, the center fielder, who's going to have to lead it off for the home team against Guy Timmermans, delivering that first ball, and it's a strike.
Oh, and 1 count here for Timmermans, who is trying to mimic Dennis Burgersdijk, getting ahead in the count as that ball is popped into left field, where it is handled cleanly by Tromp. So it's Tromp to Tromp action here in the bottom of the 6th as Jeandro pops out to Giandido.
Nice.
And that brings up Kevin Dirksen, the DH for HCAW.
Yeah, as good as a game he had on Thursday, it's not going that great this game thus far. Grounded out in his first 2 at-bats.
That pitch is slightly high. Timmermans asks the home plate umpire by a quick hand gesture, was that high? And yes, it was high. So ball 1, as Timmermans now really is speeding things up. He was extremely slow in the early going of the ball game, and he is just now, just give me the ball, I'll throw. And that seems to be working much better. He's got a 1-1 count now to Dirksen. As that pitch is grounded to third base, Stijn van der Meer handles it, loads, fires, and that's a very nice play by van der Meer, gunning down Dirksen at first base for the out. That's 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. HCAW leading 2-0. You're watching Holland Series 2022. Game 2, HCAW leading 1-0 in the series after beating Curaçao Neptunus in Rotterdam on Thursday night. My name is Jasper Loos, Jason Houtkamp in the booth with me, our producer Jeroen Goedemans to my right. We're bringing you this ball game, and we'll be bringing you every single one for as long as the series takes. It's a best of 7, so we'll see. We could be here for a while, as that pitch is taken for a ball by Philrik Llewellyn, the left fielder.
Yeah, he's been playing a great game so far, including some defensive plays, nice defensive plays, but also at bat. 2 for 2 in this game. Scored a run, and now looking at the 2-0 count, because there was a ball. Wind up for Timmermans, delivers right through the middle. Nice strike for him. Making the count 2-1. No one on base. 2 outs. Quick delivery by Timmermans again. There's the contact, but it's Timmermans who brings it to first base for the 3rd out. And that's a quick 1-2-3 inning. And that's the second 1-2-3 inning in a row for Curaçao Neptunus. And another very quick one.
Yeah, Timmermans really hitting his groove right now. It's good to see. Speeding things up. He was overthinking it early on the game, apparently. I think he was just trying to do too much, and he's gotten to the point now where he's just like, oh, give me the baseball. I'll just do what I do best, and that's keep hitters off the board, keep hitters off the base. Doing a great job so far in these last couple of innings. Dennis Burgersdijk, the pitcher who started for HCAW, has been doing a great job as well. And he's back out here now for the top of the 7th inning. And we do have a whole contingent of HCAW players heading into the right field bullpen area. So we will be having some warm-up activity. And we will do our very best to spot some jersey numbers and tell you who is warming up. Right now, can't really tell just yet, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yellow and blue jerseys in right field.
Burgersteig now at 73 pitches before we are going to start this inning. 4 strikeouts, 1 base on balls, and 2 hits. That's great statistics for now. Let's see if he can hang on in this ball game against Curaçao. Neptunus, always dangerous, never to be underestimated, even if you have quite a big lead like they had last Thursday. And they came close in the end, so your lead cannot be big enough against this offensive team of Curaçao Neptunus. They've always got a chance to get back into the game and make it close again. Now leading off for Curaçao Neptunus, John Polonius. Again.
The whole bucket full of relievers is returning to the dugout, so I guess
guess not.
I guess nothing's happening. There's one guy still stretching in the far right corner. Let's see if we can spot if that's for a reason. As that first pitch by Burgersdijk is called a ball here in the top of the 7th inning. John Polonius, number 5 in the batter's box right now, the shortstop for the team from Rotterdam. As he takes ball 2 inside.
It's a great duel between those 2 pitchers, between Timmermans and Burgersdijk. Really looking to show off a little bit even. Show their skills. Show why they are one of the best pitchers in the Dutch Baseball League this season.
It's a nice pitch right there by Burgersdijk, called a strike. So 2-1 count, 2 balls and a strike here to John Polonius, as that next pitch is grounded to Bob van der Meer, who fields it cleanly and throws out the runner at first base. It's been a Van der Meer heavy defensive party today with a lot of action for Stijn and Bob. Bob playing shortstop for HCAW, Stijn playing third base for Curaçao Neptunus. As Roger Bernardina is making his way to home plate to try and break through against Dennis Burgersdijk, who's given up only 2 hits today to the dangerous Curaçao Neptunus lineup, who've looked at times overmatched, at times a little bit lethargic almost. As Bernardina goes first pitch hunting and lines it straight into the glove in right field. That's Victor Dreyer in right field. He only had to take 1 step to his right, and that ball was the easiest catch he's had all day. So Bernardina heading back. It took getting to home plate and going back to the dugout has taken him more time than actually being in the batter's box in this at bat. So very quick, very quick at bat.
For that first ball chase, for that first pitch chase, it can be done quite soon. As we just saw, Junior Martina now up. No one on base. 2 outs, strike 1. Burgersdijk really delivering here, putting on a great performance. There's ball 1. Making the count 1-1. A little bit of a breeze blowing up that little bit of gravel that's actually on the pitch. And a big swing and a miss for Junior Martina, who was looking for some real big like
Continue tomorrow in Rotterdam. If this score holds, we'll be traveling back to Rotterdam tomorrow with a 2-0 lead in the series for HCAW. And they'll be feeling mighty confident if that were to be the case. But for now, Neptunus are actually breaking through against Burgersdijk, because Dwayne Kemp also with a nice base hit into left field. And that brings Dashenko Ricardo to the plate.
Yeah, and Junior Martina in scoring position. And that means that was the second base hit, by the way, for Dwayne Kemp in this game, this ball game. He had a double, real nice double in his first at bat.
We do have normal microphones, Jaden, don't worry. We have very good headsets, but they are plugged into a mixer panel, and that mixer panel is giving us some issues. So bear with us. Like I told everyone before, we don't have our own mixing panels. We're reliant on what the teams provide us with. And this mixer is giving us a little bit of issues. So
thank you for joining us, though, everyone who is watching, everyone who's participating in the chat. Ask us your questions and or provide some information, some insights. Engage with us if you want to. We would appreciate it. We're looking at the 0-1 count here for Dashenko Ricardo with runners on first and second. 2 out.
this poor guy had to take his entire catcher's gear off again, and it's 2 out. So if he is retired here by Burgersdijk, as that is a very nice pitch, fastball low and outside for strike 2, then Dashenko Ricardo will have to walk back and put all the gear on again. And that will be, I think, the 3rd time today that he is involved in the final out. Either he himself is the final out or he was on base when the final out was recorded. So he's been doing a lot of dressing and undressing with the catcher's gear today. As a former catcher, I feel his pain.
I can imagine. Struck out in his first at bat, walked in his second, looking for that base hit now. The 0-2 pitch, and that's ball 1.
It's a nice try there by Burgersdijk, trying to get the breaking pitch, try to get him to chase. Ricardo looked a little overmatched early on in the game, whiffed nothing but air in earlier at bats a couple of times. So Burgersdijk knows how to get out his opponent. They do know each other well from Team Kingdom. That is a very nice pitch, low and outside, and Ricardo not fully in agreement, or maybe he is. Either way, there's a little bit of a back and forth. As home plate umpire is gesturing, yep, it nicked the outside corner of the plate. So Ricardo strikes out, and indeed will have to put on his catcher's gear. So that means we'll probably see Louis J. Seenders come back out to do some warm-up catching for Kai Timmermans, who I believe will be coming out to pitch because I see nobody warming up for Curaçao Neptunus. So. And Timmermans has settled in nicely. The last couple innings were excellent after a rough start to the ball game. He's been pitching much better as of inning number 4, I would say. As we are heading to the bottom of the 7th inning, and HCAW will be looking to extend their lead. If they're up 2-0.
For more insights, for more videos, for more information about base and softball, go to honkball or softball.tv. Honkball softball.tv. You'll find all kinds of videos.
Yep, you have to sign up. You have to create an account, but the account is free.
It's all free.
So it's all free. It's baseball.
Hey, come on.
Free baseball.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't want more baseball in their lives?
And the quality of the videos is incredibly high. We have had some great productions already, and we'll keep on providing, of course. So join us on honkballsoftball.tv and enjoy your and our favorite sport online as well.
Yeah, you can watch honkbal hoofdklasse baseball, softball hoofdklasse baseball. There's we follow the Kingdom players who play in the major leagues, so there's some videos there. There's honkball week, baseball week, footage there, all games, all highlights, interviews, you name it. You can find anything honk and softball related on honkballsoftball.tv. Free sign up required. So the 7th inning stretch is over, and we're heading to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, we're stretched. Dashenko Ricardo is dressed. So, so that means that everyone's ready to proceed with this game. Second half of the 7th inning. Batting first for HCAW will be Quentin de Cuba. He will be followed up by Max Dreyer and then Bob van der Meer. That will be the first 3 batters for the home team, who are leading by 2 runs. And they've been doing that since the 4th inning. They scored their first run in the 3rd inning. And now up to Quentin de Cuba to lead it off. Makes contact.
He made contact twice.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
first fouled it off, and it bounced back up and hit his bat again. So
Yeah, or was it the back of his head? I'm not sure. But indeed, he did make contact. Close enough for the 1-1 count. There's the contact, and a nice try by first baseman Shadian Yamanika. He did not make it, but after that beautiful dive that he made, Dwayne Kemp came in and saved the day. Well, Kai Timmermans was also quick on his feet to get to first base to make that out. Well done defensively by Curaçao Neptunus.
So that brings up, you can hear the song perhaps in the background. Max Dreyer is the next batter. Señorita through the speakers, which means it's Dreyer time here in Bussum, with 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kai Timmermans approaching the 80 pitch mark as he throws a strike to Dreyer. This will be pitch number 78, which is grounded to Stijn van der Meer over at third base, and he throws out Max Dreyer over at first base for the quick second out. And I have to say, Kai Timmermans it's been night and day between the start of his ball game and the last couple of innings. He's working fast, he's throwing strikes, he's getting outs, he's inducing weak contact. There's barely been any traffic on the bases since like the 4th or 5th inning. It's been smooth sailing for Timmermans, despite the fact that he's trailing by 2 runs as HCAW are up 2-0 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As he throws a strike to our next batter, Bob van der Meer. As that is low and outside. Nice grab there by Dashenko Ricardo. It's 1-1 with 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bob van der Meer 0 for 2 today. Unsuccessful in his previous 2 at-bats. We'll be looking for a base hit here as he takes that breaking ball for a strike. So 1-2. Nice pitch by Timmermans, mixing it up a little bit, going fastball low and away, followed by a slider. And then another breaking ball outside. Two and two outs here. Bottom of the 7th inning. Kai Timmermans looking to get out of this inning quickly and put his offense back to work in an attempt to claw their way back into the ball game, as that is a beautiful play over at shortstop by John Polonius. He short hops that ball, hit by Bob van der Meer, and van der Meer is retired. He's now 0 for 3 on the ball game, but has played an excellent defensive shortstop for HCAW, so he's been very useful for the white and blue and yellow as we head to commercials, and we'll be back in a minute.
Mijn naam is Max, een van de werknemers van Eiklin Cars in Naarden. En ik ga jullie in deze korte video laten zien waarom Eiklin de perfecte plek is om je auto wat extra liefde te geven.
Nadat de auto van buiten helemaal is schoongemaakt, kun je ook nog even op ons stofzuigplein de auto schoonmaken van binnen.
In de meeste gevallen maakt u de auto zelf schoon. Heeft u liever dat een van mijn collega's of ik uw auto schoonmaak, dan kan dat ook. Of wilt u de auto echt een keer in showroom staan brengen, dan kan dat op onze iClean Car Polish afdeling. Welkom op onze iClean Car Polish afdeling. We zijn hier bij een van de kleinste, maar meest moderne spuitcabines van Nederland. Samen met mijn collega Chris en mijn collega Max staat hier meer dan 40 jaar aan werkervaring en kunnen we iedere auto weer opnieuw krijgen.
We're heading to the top of the 8th inning. Christian Diaz, the right fielder for Curaçao Neptunus, walking up to the plate to take his hacks against still Dennis Burgersdijk. And I do believe we have activity that might be Nikur heading to the bullpen as well.
Right.
So HCAW sending some people out for warm-ups as, yep, that is indeed fouled off his foot. So it's a foul ball for Christian Diaz and a quick first strike once again for Burgersdijk.
First up, Christian Diaz. Then the second one on deck here is Shadion Yamanika. And the third one is on the top of the order, Stijn van der Meer.
Nick Kerr, by the way, not the only pitcher in the bullpen, but I can't see who is warming up in there as well. Let's see, number 35 is doing something there. Jasper Elfrink, but that's an infielder, so he'll probably just help out a little bit as Christian Diaz singles into right field. So we're all tied in base hits at 5. Each team has now 5 base hits, and this might be the first time in a while, Jason, but I'm peeking at your scorecards that we have a leadoff man on base for Curaçao Neptunus.
Yeah, you're right that we have to go back all the way to second inning,
Yeah.
and it was Roger Bernardino who got on first base because of an error by Anthony Martina.
That's right. So finally, here in the 8th, Neptunus once again a leadoff man on board, which brings Shadin Jamanika to the plate, the number 9 hitter in the lineup for the Rotterdammers. As he attempts to bunt, and it bounces foul and back into his bat. So foul ball bunt, strike 1 to Yamanika, who does some nice acrobatics with his bat right there. I don't know if you caught that on the stream, but that was some neat footwork, flipping the bat up to his hands with his feet. Nice job, Shady and Yamanika. You can always join the circus if this baseball thing doesn't work out.
Runner on first, Yamanika showing the bunt. Completely misses the ball, which is understandable because it was a ball 1. So the 1-1 count now. No one out. Runner on first. Showing the bunt once more. Infield coming in.
Ooh, that's a good pitch. Remember we talked about how to pitch in a bunt situation?
Yeah.
Burgersdijk did exactly there what I was talking about on Thursday with you when you asked, like, okay, so how would you approach this? I said, throw a fastball high and in. And that's exactly what he just threw. Fastball high and in. It's almost impossible to get pitches high and inside the zone. To get them down, yeah, for a bunt. So it's exactly what you want to do in this scenario. Nice job by Burgersdijk, taking the bunt out of play here with a 1-2 count. So odds are Yamanika is not going to risk striking out on a foul bunt. So he'll be swinging away here, and indeed he is. He fouls it over the screen and foul.
On the barbecue.
On the barbecue. If you want some ketchup with that fried baseball. Yeah, that's a very, very good. You see, the Burgersdijk is such a veteran pitcher. He knows how to approach scenarios so that it doesn't rattle him if he's faced with a guy who's going to bunt. He just knows what to do. Throw it high and inside as he tries a pick-off attempt here, but Diaz back safe.
keeping Diaz short because he also knows that time is running out for Curaçao Neptunus and that they might need to take some risks here and there. For example, stealing or hit and runs, just like their own play. And that's why he keeps Christian Diaz short at first base. Another pickoff attempt there. With a 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Against Yamanika.
As there goes the runner, Diaz is right. It's a hit and run, and that's lined into right field where it is caught. And oh, Diaz did not pick up that baseball at all. And they're going to double off Christian Diaz over at first base because that ball was caught by Victor Draaien in right field, and Diaz could not find the baseball in the air, and he was already well on his way to second base. So doubled off at first base. That's been the story of the game right here for Curaçao Neptunus. Anytime they get anything going, there's an unfortunate situation that causes them to lose any momentum they may have been gathering.
Yeah, that's not how you approach a hit and run. You don't hit a ball like that into right field if you're performing a hit and run.
You got to make sure you pick up the baseball though as a base runner.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, absolutely.
This one, Lemire pops up the first pitch into center field behind second base, and it is Geandro Tromp coming in to make the catch. And the next thing you know, you go from having your leadoff hitter on to being out of the inning without any real damage. So that's a very, very unfortunate inning here for Curaçao Neptunus, and that's been the story of their ball game.
Yeah, they messed that hit and run. They messed it completely up. And that's a shame because they were in a good position to actually get something going there. And they needed to as well. And Dennis Burgersdijk picked up on that pretty well, keeping Christian Diaz short on first base. And then indeed the hit and run, but they just didn't execute it as they should have. Well, the batter should have kept it more down. You don't want that ball to get caught, because if it does, then you have the risk indeed. It will be a double play on first base, and that's exactly what happened. Although I completely agree with you that Christian Diaz was a little bit enthusiastic with that run that he made. So there was no chance for them to get back in that.
Kai Timmermans back out for another inning of work. And why not? He's been in complete control of the HCAW lineup for the past 3-4 innings. I don't know what we're waiting for right now.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe a substitute. Maybe not.
Danny Rombly is going to have to do. Yep, there he goes.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, our mixer panel is cracking like crazy again, guys. We're so sorry. Nothing we have influence over. It has a will of its own. It has a mind of its own.
Yeah, exactly.
As you see Julian Goins step into the box, the number 9 hitter for HCAW here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As this ball game is now rapidly approaching the end stages. Didn't look like it was going to be a very fast game early on, but it really picked up in speed after a couple of innings. Both pitchers in complete. As he takes a longer time now.
2-1 pitch gets fouled back and away for strike 2 for Julian Goins. Was ahead in this count, 2-0. Now he is even Steven.
Two and two count here.
Yep. Kai Timmermans looking for the pitch. There he comes. He winds up.
Oh,
And a
good pitch.
big swing and a miss for Julian Goins. He's the first out of this inning.
That's a good pitch. That face-high fastball. It looks so tasty when it's coming your way, but there's no way you're going to catch up to it. So it's a very nice. It's the first time they use the elevated fastball to get a guy swinging. It's nice to be able to dig into your bag of tricks and pull something out you haven't used before in the game. Keeps them on their toes. If they know what you're going to throw, then you're in trouble. And this is a good way to mix it up.
Strikeout number 4 for Kai Timmermans. And now up for HCAW is on the top of the order, Brandley Martina. That's the first ball go for ball 1. First pitch. Struck out in his previous at-bat, but he also had a base hit already. One of the 5 base hits that Timmermans had to concede. And there's the contact once more. Stijn van der Meer comes in and throws it to first base to retire. Brandley Martina, who walks all the way back into the outfield. With the speed that he has, he definitely needs a little bit of stretching to walk it off.
It's good to see, though, that he apparently has no lingering effects from the crash early on in the game when Roger Bernardina barreled into him trying to steal second base.
Yeah, it was maybe also a little bit the scare, especially if you're a speedster like that, then you're relying on your ankles, on your legs, on your speed. You just need it, and if you get slid down like that, well, there's a catch in the far left field, all the way in the corner for out number 3. Another real quick 1-2-3 inning. That's number 4 already in a row. 4 1-2-3 innings in a row.
Yeah,
that's actually very impressive by Kai Timmermans right now. And by his field crew as well.
Because it didn't look like that at all early on in the ball game. He was really struggling. He was laboring. He was taking way too long in between pitches to get into any kind of groove. He was constantly throwing pickoffs. There was a lot of traffic everywhere. And he's done a great job turning that around. And Dennis Burgersdijk is coming back out for the So Burgersdijk will try to close out this ball game himself, going for the complete game shutout here, as Neptunus is down to their final 3 outs in an attempt to not fall behind 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. He's at 95 pitches as Burgersdijk, 66 strikes, so he's got a little more left because Burgersdijk regularly surpasses 100 pitches in the Hoofdklasse. Both Burgersdijk and his teammate Lars Heijer with multiple complete games this season. Very reliable 1-2 punch in the rotation for HCAW.
Dan volgt hier een dienstmededeling. De muntjes voor de consumpties zijn vanaf nu alleen nog maar in de kantine te koop. Maar vanaf
That's good to know.
de eerste helft van de 9e
All right, here is the final stretch for this game. Especially, I mean, this is going to be the moment that Curaçao Neptunus has to stand up because they are trailing by 2 runs. And if they are not careful, they might trail in this series by 2-0, heading to Rotterdam tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see what can Curaçao Neptunus pull out of their sleeves. It's Jandido Tromp now leading it off for the club from Rotterdam.
Tromp also made the final out of the last half inning. He caught that sky-high pop-up in left field to retire the side, as he will be looking to give the heart of the Neptunus lineup a chance to claw their way back into this ballgame. We got John Polonius on deck and Roger Bernardina in the hole as Tromp looks at a strike right here. So it's a 2-1 count now, 2-1 count. As Burgersdijk fires and misses low with the breaking ball in the dirt.
I'm always glad to see that there are so many knowledgeable people within our community who also try to add information for us and you all to enjoy. We have a walk for John Dido Tromp. That's the first time he gets on base in this game. And we'll have a talk on the pitching mound.
Meeting of the minds here in the 9th inning. Nick Kerr is definitely warming up. He's throwing full force in the bullpen. So HCAW, as much as they may want Dennis Burgersdijk to get his complete game, they are acting as if there will be a backup opportunity for Nick Kerr. But for now, it's Burgersdijk's game. But he will be faced with a tough piece of that Neptunus lineup. John Polonius, not an easy out. And neither is Roger Bernardina, who's in the on-deck circle now.
Definitely not an easy out. Meanwhile, John Polonius hasn't been on base thus far in this ball game. They have been doing everything to keep him off of it. 2 ground outs, a pop fly. Now going for the up for the 4th time, and that's not a strike call by Efrem Sylvania. That's what the crowd is loud about. They all saw it as a strike.
Yeah.
And there's only one person who makes the call.
Oh my God, man.
Is struggling on the mound as it is, and he has to get real back into his focus for a bit, because this gets him out of it a tiny bit. You see some encouraging words from the dugout, from Lars Heijer, for example, who is supporting his teammate through and through.
The entire HCAW team, by the way, on the top step of the dugout, leaning over the fence. And that's called a strike. 1-1 now to John Polonius. Yeah, this HCAW team, they are ready to get out of the dugout and celebrate a potential win here. So Burgersdijk will be looking to... Oh, and that's line into center field. And that is a fantastic catch.
Oh,
wow. Jeandro Tromp. What an unbelievable catch. Running in, lays out completely and robs John Polonius of a hit. And with that also robs Curaçao Neptunus from mounting a rally. Because now there's a huge difference between facing Roger Bernardina with 1 out and a runner at first base, or facing Roger Bernardina with nobody out and runners on 1st and 2nd. So huge play for Jeandro Tromp here in the top of the 9th inning for HCAW.
He had to stretch all the way for it, had to really time it until the last moment to make the dive. And there is strike 1 for Roger Bernardina.
That's a huge morale boost for Burgersdijk too, who was quite upset in the Polonius at bat.
Ooh, big swing and a miss for Roger Bernardina for strike 2. Tried to pick it up from the ground almost.
Yeah, he wanted to tie the game there. No matter what, he wanted to tie the ball game.
There's the 0-2 count, all in favor of Dennis Burgersdijk. 1 out, runner on 1st. There's some contact, but he fouls it off to the right side.
It's a nice breaking pitch there by Burgersdijk. You have some leeway here. You don't have to throw Bernardino a strike. He already helped you out by swinging and missing at a potential ball. So no need to help him out here.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of movement in the balls, more than speed probably in this at bat against Roger Bernardina. You don't want to hit those, want him to hit those long balls that much. Because if he hits it well, he could just hit it out of the ballpark. And then it will be a tie game. But it's definitely not that far. 1-2 count, 1 out. to wind up. Another contact. Okay, in defensive mode now. Roger Bernardina. Just making the contact. Just going for the contact. Doesn't matter if it falls back. Just
Such
keep
a good
in this at-bat.
Such a good job by Burgersteig here, throwing pitches low in the zone. I wonder if they're going to go up like higher in the zone now. They're throwing a bunch of stuff low in the zone or outside of the zone to Bernardino. Let's see if they move his eye level here by trying to sneak an elevated fastball by him. Or it's a curveball popped up and caught by I think Bob van der Meer was trying to do the little like, oh, oops, I dropped it, and then force out the runner at second, but you don't want to put Bernardino on base. So it's Junior Martina time. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Neptunus down to their last out. They have a runner at first base, but Dennis Burgersdijk has looked in total control so far.
Dennis Burgersdijk supported by the audience here in the ballpark. We're really ready to enjoy a big party today and take a 2-0 lead in this Holland Series to Rotterdam tomorrow, where a lot of these people will be as well while this ball pops up. And is it going to be caught? It's not going to be caught. It bounces off of the fence and over the head of the second baseman, Brentley Martina, who was also close. But no, it was actually Quintin de Cuba's ball. He wanted it, but he wasn't able to convert it to an out, to the third out.
I think it hit the screen too. So
yeah, it was just a little bit too far away to reach out for Quintin de Cuba. And then it bounced off of the fence, right over the head of Brentley Martina, who also came sped up.
Let's see what Burgersdijk does here. I'm very interested to see how they approach this situation. 1-1 count to Junior Martina, as that ball is popped foul, and yep, it lands in foul territory behind first base. So 1-2. Neptunus now down to their final bullet in this ball game.
Crowd is on his feet. 2 outs, 2 strikes. Waving the shirts and clapping.
Yeah, Burgersdijk's taking it all in. Nice little lap around the mound. He's ready to go. Winds, fires, and that's a swing and a miss. And Dennis Burgersdijk throws a complete game shutout in Game 2 of the 2022 Holland Series, and HCAW from Bussum take a 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. Incredible ball game today by Burgersdijk, and well, Curaçao Neptunus will have their work cut out for them tomorrow in Rotterdam.
Not only tomorrow, but in the coming games, they need to get a very, very solid comeback, because right now HCAW has been dominating in these first 2 games. And they take this 2-0 lead to Rotterdam tomorrow. We'll be back at 2 p.m. From Rotterdam. And for now, thank you for joining all for the stream. Please go to honkbalsoftbal.tv. And we'll be back live tomorrow from Rotterdam at 2 p.m. My name is Jason Houtkamp. Next to me is Jasper Roos. And we also thank Jeroen for the production again. Thank you so much for helping us all out. Thank you for joining us. Please do as well tomorrow. Over here in Bussum, a nice party will start and go on until the short and late hours. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.